Welcome to the second episode of Small Ice Victories Season 2.
Welcome,
to the
welcome.
episode, guys. Oh,
Dude, I froze.
yeah,
I
you
froze.
froze.
No,
Froze.
now you're not. Now you're not. You're fine now.
Hello, am I still frozen, guys?
No,
No.
it's very good now.
Mm.
All right.
All right.
I already lost count. What episode are we? Season 2.
It's
episode
season 2. What
Okay,
do you mean
okay,
you lost
okay.
Oh,
count?
yeah.
No, 2 is,
It's a very hard
pretty
number.
small number. It's not so high. You probably
Okay,
count.
that's fair. That's fair.
What do you
on
mean?
two.
I don't know how you even lost count there. But yeah.
Johnny, you changed up your style this episode. I see.
It
You finally
is-
changed your shirt.
Yeah, it changed from the, I think, maroon and navy shirt that I've kept wearing
Mm.
every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, had to change up for you too. I think you have those, you got that
Oh,
stylish Lacoste.
Crocodiles,
Lacoste, I believe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know the difference between crocodile and alligator?
Not
No.
sure. Again,
Not sure.
Yeah, not sure. Do you guys know?
I'm asking you guys. I don't know.
Oh.
No. We don't.
Alligator.
I mean,
Not
but
sure.
crocodile sounds more tough, right?
Yeah, for me. it
Right?
does.
Like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
I don't
Like,
think
think
there's
about-
a difference for me, man.
Croc-
I mean, like if you think
Crocodile,
about the shoes, there's Crocs, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
But you don't call them the alleys, which would sound like
Yeah.
No. Whenever I think of crocodiles, this is a bit off topic, but whenever I think about crocodiles, it's always like math. It always has to do with math because back then when they taught us like numbers that are greater or numbers that are less, they always
Oh,
use
yes.
like this symbol, right? And then it's
Ah.
basically the crocodile symbol. So yeah.
yeah, I know, right?
I mean, but I don't get a good feeling from it because me personally, I hate math. That's just me, you know.
Interesting.
Mm. So I actually searched it up,
Yeah.
and
Right.
alligators are black or gray on top with cream color underline.
Like
timid.
on
They're
underbelly.
more timid and more smaller than crocodiles. So I'm actually right because crocodiles are more tough. They're bigger.
Interesting.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Dude, I never had an interest in animals ever since I was younger, so this doesn't even matter to me that much,
Yep.
to be
Why?
honest.
It should matter,
I don't know. Like, do you guys like biology?
No.
No,
No, not really.
I don't like science.
Yeah.
Like the
I don't
whole of
like-
biology, you guys don't like it?
I don't like
I would
science.
like to know about it, but I actually don't want to know because it's too complicated for me. There's just
I mean,
too many things.
That's fair. No, because for me, I like biology, but
Mhm.
I only like the human aspect of it, like learning
Oh.
about anatomy, physiology, stuff like that, and like basically medical stuff. I'm interested in,
Yeah.
but like learning about botany, plants, and
Yeah.
learning about animals. That's not really like what I'm interested in.
mhm.
I don't know. It just seems pretty boring to me, you know.
Yeah, I just
Mm.
want to know like the solution to these, pains and stuff, like physical pains. Yeah, that's why
Solution to these physical
yeah.
pains.
If you know biology and you know like the cause and stuff, it would be easier to know the solution to it. That's why. But it's just
Yeah,
too hard.
that's. Mhm.
Mm.
But usually you have to go to a doctor for any of your like physical pains and stuff like that.
No, if
Yeah.
it's
Like-
like a muscle pain, right? Like
Yeah, then you
Right.
go
feel
to the
some-
trainer or something, right?
No, but then yeah,
Uh,
if you are if you studied in those areas, you don't have to go to
Oh.
trainer. You would know
that's fair.
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
it's
you would
coming
know,
from
yeah.
this. Yeah, that's
mhm.
why that's
I
cool.
mean, so then you're actually looking forward to be a doctor, like since you're interested in these kind of areas.
Me,
Yeah,
dude.
like,
You know,
human biology?
I thought about becoming a doctor many times, and like a lot of my friends also recommended like me, why don't you be a doctor, Gerard, or why don't
Mm.
you be a doctor, Ding, because
Yeah,
it
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it sort of goes hand in
Yeah,
hand, like the
yeah,
name.
right.
But like I just never really I think it's too hard to become a doctor. Like I think I'd be one of those dropouts like in
Mm,
medical school. Not necessarily because I don't think I can handle it. It's more so like I think I need to be interested enough to be a doctor. I need to have a stronger reason because the reasons a lot of people give are like it's a high paying job, or you get to help people, but like those baseline reasons people give for becoming a doctor, they're pretty shallow in my opinion, and that's the reason why like so many people drop out. Like you actually need a deeper
mm,
reason to keep you glued to becoming a doctor.
mm.
And it's like the same for you. You have like a shallow reason. That's why you don't want to. You don't think.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
exactly.
Interesting.
But
Mhm.
if I see like the doctors, I think all of the reasons are the same. Like because they want to help each
Really?
other out. Yeah, if you look at so many other doctors, I believe
Mm.
their reason to become a doctor was because they wanted to help each other out. They want to have a stable job. I think the reasons are the same. It's just
Stable
I
how
job.
mean,
much
mhm.
You make out of it?
and how much you want to be. You know,
Oh,
Oh,
that's fair, that's fair.
yeah.
there
Okay.
could be people. It would be nice to be a doctor, but I don't really mind if I don't be one. But then the ones who actually become a doctor, they're like, no, I have to be this. They
Yeah,
have the
yeah,
same
yeah, you
reason.
have to be a
You know,
doctor.
Yeah,
they have the
yeah,
same
yeah,
reason,
yeah.
but different types of what do you call that? Grit. I don't know.
Great.
Oh,
Right?
grit,
Yeah,
grit.
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, actually,
Grit.
grit is not even a word, isn't it? It's something made
No, it
up,
is a
right?
word.
It
It
is
is a word.
officially?
Yeah,
Like, is
grit,
it on dictionary?
grit. Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
believe
Search
so.
it up
Oh,
right now.
Yeah.
grit.
While Steve is searching that up, I have a question for both of you guys. Why do both of you guys want to be businessmen, CEOs, like those types of people? Like, why don't you go for a more professional route in
Um,
life?
Honestly, for me, I'm not actually preferring businessmen over anything, but I just don't want to work under someone,
Oh, okay.
like that doesn't fit for me. So
Interesting.
that's my reason. Like I really can't work under someone. Sorry. Yes.
Um. Yeah. For me, wait. I wanna touch upon Steve's thing. You said that you don't wanna work on under someone. You know. But then for me, I just think it's better to first work under someone and
Hmm.
then make up your own thing rather than just going right away because I feel like there's so many things you can learn by being under
Hmm.
someone.
So
Yeah, that's why.
So if you want to work under someone first, why don't you go the professional route and then, go into the business route? Because for me, I always thought like, why not be under a company first, like earn some money, and then after that open a business after you have experience.
Yeah, that's
Why
more
not do that?
stable. Yeah.
I mean, that's more stable, but I mean, I can't really work under someone because
That
that doesn't really work for me. So,
I feel like that
uh,
that could be a problem, but it could be the best or the worst. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
really can't, work under someone, but you can't also make a company by yourself. Uh, yeah, that might
yeah.
be a
It's
problem, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, I
yeah.
could
It's
work with someone, I could work with someone,
with
but
someone, but
not
you can't work under.
under
Dude,
someone. Yeah.
isn't that a problem with your ego though?
that might
Like
be.
No,
Yeah,
no,
that
no.
honestly,
might
I
be.
mean,
yeah.
because when I make decisions, I normally want them to be applied right away, or like, things should happen. But when I'm under someone, he could, kind of ignore all those decisions or opinions that I made, which does
Uh,
not really work for
the
me.
reason you
Yeah.
don't want to be under someone's because they might ignore your, decisions, your
Or opinions.
ideas.
So, it's like not being
respected and stuff.
respected and all that,
Mm,
and just as a human being, you want to do something by yourself, right? Not working
Right.
for someone else's something.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mm.
but
That's
before
fair.
that, I feel like you just have to be under
Yeah.
I mean,
someone.
you could
Yeah,
like,
you have.
the situations are different, right? It depends.
Yeah.
Like if I give you an example, let's say like you're in your 20s and then you just or let's say you're like 23 and you just finished college, and then you don't have much savings, and like some big companies offered you jobs that pay well.
Mm.
Why not take that opportunity, work
I
for
mean,
a
yeah,
few
in that
years,
situation,
be uncomfortable, working under someone, and then after you get your paychecks, saved up a little money, start your own business,
yeah, I
right?
mean, yeah, that works,
Not that
but
bad.
that's not my situation, so I take the different route.
Oh,
Mm,
that's fair.
You
So would you like want to take out a loan in the future, or like ask for help with your parents to create your own little thing, Steve?
Like when I do a business or when I go to
Yeah.
college,
Mhm.
different. Like
After you graduate, right?
I would
Let's say you
ask,
have no money. Mhm.
I mean, I would ask help in the college, for the money for college,
Right.
but not the business by itself. I think I would use loan because
Mm,
business is more like mine, right?
right.
I mean, studying is
mhm.
mine too, but like it's kind of different.
Um, for me, the reason I did I ever say I wanted to be a businessman?
You
I,
never
I
Yeah.
did. I mean,
Like,
you did.
mhm.
Mm.
Like whenever we have conversations about this, Johnny, like just in our private time,
Mm-mm.
whenever you ask me what I wanted to be, I'd always say maybe a physiotherapist or
Oh yeah,
something,
yeah, you did. Yeah,
right?
you did. Awesome.
Something related in that aspect. And then after that, I wanted to maybe start my own business. But with you, you said that you never really decided yet, and the most broad one was business. So that's all you were
yeah.
considering. Mhm.
Yeah, I know I want to have a company, but
Like for what?
that still isn't a very, you know, I'm not really sure if I actually want to have a company or
Uh,
I'm suitable to have a company. But yeah, it would be nice to have one, but
I mean, is
not
having a
sure.
company like your goal or having a lot of money? Like it's different, right? Like
Um,
building your like mega hit company and having like billions of dollars is kind of different, right?
I think yeah, ultimately, becoming rich is one of
Oh
the
yeah, okay.
ways.
And actually, you
And
don't really have to be a businessman in order to become
Mm.
rich,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
but
Like how
That too.
Dink
That too.
said, being like professional of something could make you rich.
Mm.
Just let's say you become a senior vice president of a huge company. You didn't build a company, but you could be still, very rich.
yeah, you could
That's
be hired as a CEO or higher position, but
Yeah, yeah,
based on my what I saw before, even though you don't know the names of the company, the CEOs
mm,
of those companies, like the unknown companies,
right.
are so rich that you don't even know.
Hmm.
Like even though we never heard of that company ever, they're
yeah,
so
yeah,
rich
yeah.
already. So that's
Right.
why I thought rather than working in a higher, maybe like a above, a higher than above ridge, like yes, role in a big company like Google
Mhm.
or Apple.
Oh.
Oh,
Be
it
the
could be
head of a small
better.
company.
Yeah, it
I
could
mean,
be
Yeah.
a
yeah, yeah,
better
but
to have
when I
small
see the
It's
companies.
effort, like it's kind of different.
Mhm.
Like how the businessman, I mean, not the businessman, the CEO and the owner gives his effort to its own company and all the other workers, right? It's really different. Like how the owner, like the chairman, gives its own effort to company. It's like so huge. They work like what, 6 to what, 10, 11, right? And
yeah.
then they would have no break time at all, right? They don't
Yeah.
take, weekends, or they don't take vacations. So I think, and if you see a lot of companies, they don't succeed by 1 or 2 years.
Right.
It takes normally like 10 years, right? And if you could hold on for 10 years doing that thing,
Mhm.
probably you could succeed in any other area, right? Not only being a CEO,
Right.
right? So
Right.
I think
Exactly.
there's way broader things that you could do if you want to make money. Like you just have to give the same effort, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But
Interesting.
you know, a lot of people say it's CEO because it's kind of something all rounded, right? If you start up, a business about what fish or like
Fish.
business about
Alligators.
like alligators, buildings, whatever. They will still call you a CEO, right? It's something broad.
Yeah.
I think that's why people look forward to being a CEO, but it's kind of different. It's like more of people who gave a lot of effort to one thing, right, for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of yeah. Go on.
I have 3 points actually. I thought of 3 points for this. Number one is it's my own thinking. It's like it really depends on what you want. Would you rather be like a servant in heaven or the ruler of hell? Like that analogy means like, would you rather be like just a regular employee at a high paying company like Google, or would you rather be the manager and CEO of a really indie company, but you're the CEO and the owner? And it depends on your answer, really.
Yeah. In that case, honestly, I would take the indie company because
Really,
if it's just a normal regular worker, of course CEO gets way richer, like if it goes on, right?
there's more potential, I guess.
Yeah, potential, right?
Yeah.
But if you compare, like just how I said, vice president of a big company compared to a CEO of, just, a small company, that's, something that you could think of, right? What would you think?
Right. It's also safer to be in the big company
Company,
as
yeah,
just
of
a
course.
regular employee. Yeah.
And you have way less responsibility.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a
That
lot
too.
since you're a vice president, but way less than being a CEO of something.
Yeah.
What are your other
I
points?
take the first option, honestly, just being a regular employee.
Ah, really?
How about
Because
Johnny?
for me, uh, before I say my answer, yeah, yeah, there in one of the books I read, they said in the world, in life, there's two roles that you can choose, which is a leader and which is a follower,
Follower?
and
Yeah.
but then uh, rather than what you really want to be, I think you gotta have those traits in you first in
No,
order to be one of them.
no.
So,
Mm,
for me, I would
yeah.
like to be a leader, but
Hmm.
it doesn't mean that I would be one, you know.
I mean,
Right.
That's a
honestly,
separate thing.
the only I when I see leaders, they only have one trait in common,
What?
which is grit. Like they can
Grit.
hold on
Grit.
all
Mm,
those, responsibilities and all those, pressures. The ones who succeed are normally the ones who just hold it on to their own company, right?
Right.
Just
uh,
didn't,
Um.
give up,
Right.
which it's all about grit.
But but I think a lot of these books, like business books,
Oh.
especially, they always villainize being a servant or just being a follower or just being a
No,
regular employee. Like,
it's very needed, right? Like,
yeah. It's number one, it's very needed. Number two, it's not bad. There are so many
oh,
successful people who are professionals, who aren't CEOs, who don't run their own company. They're not entrepreneurs, and there are so many happy people like that. It's really your choice
yeah.
at the end of the day. And like, I can give you an example of someone becoming rich off, not having the most prestigious job. I had a teacher recently. Johnny knows him actually. And then he told me that every month he saves $7,000 every single month just as a teacher,
Mm,
and he invests that money. And right now, he's ready to retire. He's like in his 30s. He's
mm.
he's a math teacher, and he's ready to retire right now. And when someone tells you they're a teacher, you don't necessarily think that, oh my gosh, he's a teacher. Damn, that's amazing. That must
Yeah,
have,
that's a rich job,
that's such a,
Yeah.
yeah. I want to be that one day. Like, you don't necessarily think
Yeah.
that. But as you grow older, you realize that technically you can go in whatever avenue you want. Yeah, there are differing pay rates, and sometimes it's better to be a CEO, sometimes it's better to be an employee. There are all these variables, but you realize that just because your job doesn't pay the most doesn't mean you can't become rich with that job. What if you're the best teacher in the world, right? Or what if you save frugally your money and then um, learn how to invest or real estate. All of these are avenues you could go in, which could make you
Yeah.
rich. It's not just your job,
I mean, in
Mm,
Korea, it's kind of different. If you
why?
think about
Mm.
teachers, right? There's a lot of online teachers, right? Because in Korea, internet is really, well advanced. So those online teachers are a really, they're really rich. On some article they say they make about 50 million per year, 60
Fuck.
million, like
50. Wait,
50
one?
million
I
One?
don't know.
dollars,
Oh,
dollars,
dollars. What the
50, 60
hell?
million dollars per
Dollars.
year, which like makes him,
I
very rich.
Damn.
In Korea, it's very
What the
famous. Like
hell?
call them 인강 강사, which is like, just online teachers. But they have some kind of platform and they make huge money. They make huge
Right.
money,
That's
which
crazy, man.
which I don't think the money is restricted to any job, like how you said. It's really,
yeah, it's really
different
not.
with all the situations. Yeah. Okay. Just
Mm.
to ask, like what kind of bar do you set of being rich? What kind of money do you think you should have in order to be called rich?
Uh, um, this is a very vague answer, but
Yeah.
rich is when you don't have to worry about money at all. Like
Right.
you
I
just
mean,
like
then
whenever you're purchasing something or doing something, you just don't have to think about the money as much as you do when you're
Mhm.
poor.
then like
Yeah.
what? Like at buying food? Like okay, like let's say you want to buy what helicopter and
Yeah.
you don't think about money.
No,
And
not the
then,
helicopter.
like if you think that way, I mean, I don't know how
No,
much should you
like
Actually,
no, I'm talking about
mhm,
like
like
rent.
basic necessities.
Maybe
daily
you
live
have like a house and you need to pay for the house, but you don't have to worry about those stuff or like school
Right.
tuitions, you don't have to
mm-mm,
worry about those
Right.
stuffs. I'm
mm,
talking about
Uh-huh.
those stuffs, yeah. Where you
oh.
Mm.
have to pay and
I mean,
yeah, you don't
for
have to
me,
worry about it.
honestly, like I don't think millionaire is a rich thing anymore. Like there's so many millionaires and the price
Yeah.
level is actually going higher every year.
Inflation.
Inflation, yeah, it's really steep. So I don't think millionaire is the bar anymore, right? For
It's
me.
more.
For me, I
What's your
mean,
bar?
think
Yeah.
about it.
Yo, what's your
Like
bar?
having a million, like okay, earning $1 million per year is rich. But
Yeah.
having $1 million, I don't know. I think you would spend that easily. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Um,
So
Yeah.
when I
I
think of a job,
actually,
yeah.
I think there's a survey
Uh-huh.
that's done, or like among the masses and populations in America, all you need to fulfill all your needs, like every single year, the annual salary, I think it's around $60,000.
Yeah.
Like
70, I
that's
think.
that's all. After that, after you reach $60,000, like as an employee or person in citizen in America, after that it's just unneeded, and you can
Mm-mm.
you don't even need the money after that anymore. So it's just really a way of thinking. Like to you, Steve, $60,000 a year might not seem a lot because your bar is in the millions, right? But
Yeah.
honestly, that's all you need to live to live a well-rounded life in one of the most advanced countries like America. So
I mean,
there are different perceptions of money for sure.
yeah. But for me, honestly, like you talked about the needs, right? But
Yeah,
of course, since we're human beings, we have wants, right? And in order
that's
to
fair.
fulfill certain amount of wants, I think maybe you should have a couple $1 million to be rich, like 4 or 5. I think that could be rich, but having just a million, I think the bar is kind of low these days when talking about million because because of the inflation.
It's
Jeez,
quite
man.
it's quite,
In
it
South
might be funny
Korea.
that we're talking about, all of this money and
Yeah,
talking like
yeah, I know,
millions,
but whatever.
like it's nothing,
Yeah,
I
But,
mean,
when we
but
haven't
like,
even earned,
yeah.
like,
yeah,
right now we're not even college graduates, so if we wanted to try earning $1 million, we'd have to start at McDonald's probably.
Mm,
Honestly, we,
we'll
we, we
then
don't even have the
realize
credentials needed, right?
yep.
Yeah.
we're
But
gonna realize
thing,
then, oh,
but thing is this.
60,000 is enough.
I mean,
Look, look, look.
like, yeah, okay, go on.
Dude,
Huh?
you don't understand how hard it is to earn money until you've tried earning it. Like,
Yeah, a lot of people say.
remember when I told you I work in a factory like last year, I think? No, 2 years ago. Every 2 weeks they'd pay 2,000 pesos in that factory. It was my family's factory, so this is the child labor, but and then I voluntarily wanted to go, but every 2 weeks you'd get paid 2,000 pesos. 2,000 pesos is around $40 for our, any people not familiar. So you'd work 8 hours a day, like scrubbing the floor, making frozen foods, oiling the machines, all of that, and then at the end of the day you'd get paid around what 14, like 200 pesos, 100 pesos a day, which is like around what
$2.
yeah, around two
Right.
two to
Two-
$5 a day
Mm.
for that job, and that was 8 hours of your day. I mean, that's an extreme example because that's like minimum wage, but like
Yeah.
once you work in that environment, it's like, damn, money is actually pretty hard to earn. And then the millions of dollars Steve was talking about, to become rich, that seems so out of your potential. So no, not everyone's gonna be rich, and that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Just earn enough to get by.
But it's just situations, in
Yeah.
Seoul, you want to buy an apartment, let's say, maybe a small one with one room and one
Mm.
bathroom, just a small one. That's about $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Seoul.
It's
Which-
pretty expensive
Yeah.
in Shanghai as well.
Yeah,
In Shanghai it's about $1 million as well to buy yourself an apartment, like,
yeah,
because
like
Shanghai is such an expensive city.
yeah, like Tokyo or New York. Like you can't even like say you're rich if you have $1 million. You're like, which is kind of different.
You're just
like,
living,
Yeah, I mean, like
Mm,
it's different. It's different. It's like if you go to somewhere like out of out of Seoul, 1 million is a lot. Like there's not a lot of people who have $1 million.
Yeah.
But if you come in Seoul, like almost everyone does.
Damn.
Which is like, like same with New York. If you see, there's a lot of homeless men in New York, right? But there's also a lot of rich mans in New York, right? Like
Yeah.
not
yeah.
million, but
The
tens and twenties,
the thing about the thing I noticed was rich people get just richer every time, and then poor people get just poorer every
Yeah,
time
yeah.
most of the times. That's why
Oop.
rich people
Poor gap.
might think like the complete opposite as what Gerard thought. Like
Yeah,
they might
like
think
how it's so
making
easy to
money is,
make
yeah,
money.
it's like the
Yeah.
easiest thing because they could
You calling me poor?
no, what
I
Gerard
mean, like,
thought. Yeah.
yeah. If you
Yeah.
see, like
Mhm.
in Korea, like the prices of apartments or like what lands are just like hopping twice, like every year. Like
Right.
it's not even called an investment because you know that it's gonna hop. That
Yeah.
price is going to hop, which is not even an investment because there's no danger, right?
Mhm.
Like
There's no risk.
or yeah, there's no
Yeah,
risk
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I mean, I think there would be some, but there's almost none, which
Mhm.
this makes the rich boy gap go, steeper and steeper, which is not a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I mean, for the really poor ones, like no money at all, I
Yeah.
really see it's hard for them to, kind of come back and make some money,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
it's just too steep
Like
for
like
them.
like
Yeah.
like
exactly.
people who don't have the money to, get quality educations in the first place, right? They
Right.
can't go to schools because they don't have money, like those people.
You know,
Like not talking about college, like high school educations. Then like
right.
how hard, think about how hard it will be for them to, kind of come back and make some,
Mm,
like they can't even get a job, right?
right.
Nobody's
Exactly.
gonna hire them, like, which is like bad thing of
It's
capitalism, but
yeah, that's for sure a downside of capitalism, because if you have too much capitalism, like in super advanced countries, the poor is dirt poor, and then the rich is filthy rich.
yeah.
But there's something called the Matthew principle, or the Pareto distribution. I think I brought this up with you guys before, but basically there's a verse in the New Testament that says, to those that have more, more will be given. To those that have, more will be given. From those who have not, everything will be taken. So it's basically saying, if you already have something, you'll be given more. If you don't have anything, everything will be taken from you. And
Mhm.
you don't even need the Bible, or you don't even need to be religious to believe that, because like just look at basic distribution in the world, right? Let's say NBA athletes, for example, or basketball players. Only like 0.01% of basketball players make it to the NBA, and
Yeah.
everyone else is in the 99th, below the 99th percentile. So this Pareto distribution, this Matthew principle, is really in everything. If you go to even like, for example, podcasts, since we're doing a podcast,
Mm-mm-mm.
only like 1% of all podcasts make it to be successful. All the other 99% are not successful. So
Yeah.
in the same way with rich people and poor people, most people will fall under the 50% range, and only about like 0.01% of the population will actually be rich. And
Yeah.
that's just how the world goes.
Mm,
It's just a natural principle in the world, I guess.
I mean, like if you see YouTube,
yeah.
I see a lot of funny videos these days. Like they teach you money lessons, which
Yeah.
is like
Money lessons.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Like they talk about, like I saw this once from a show host. He
Yeah.
was talking like, if you to find something you can make $10 out of, okay. I was like, okay, fine. And then he said, just do it 10 times. Okay, now you got $100. And he will
Wow.
say,
Wow.
and do that 10 times more, and $1,000, and 10 times more,
Wow.
10,000, and then eventually reaches, of course, $1,000,000. But
Yeah.
that's kind of nonsense, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
dumb.
Like you do it 10 times of a 10 times of a 10 times, you'll be dead doing that.
Right.
You'll be
Yeah.
like dead.
Yeah.
Like you'll be 80s, and if you do 10 times more of that, yeah, you'll be dead, like for sure. Like if I see YouTube these days, it's kind of hilarious. Like um
Mm,
there's, since this is so improved than before, a lot
yeah.
of people exit and of course enter this whole social media world. So I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's no like
It's
good source. No,
it's
there's
full
no
of
good source.
it's full of hoax. Is it? Is it called
Yeah, I mean
hoax?
like
Hoax.
Hoaxes.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean like,
Yeah.
hoaxes.
and they make money out of giving those money lessons, which is like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
which is
exactly.
like
Ah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty funny.
right? Like
Um, talking about money, you guys, you guys said, no, or I said that I'm not sure which field I want to go in, but I think one of the fields I'm interested in is, I said I want to be rich, and that's why I'm also interested in learning about money itself, like the entire flow.
Mm, mhm.
Maybe that could be one of the,
Right.
things that I want to study about. Maybe like economics or stuff,
Economics.
the entire
Yeah,
flow of
it's
money.
cool.
I mean,
I
that's the wrong view of economics, honestly.
Yeah,
Because
that's what people say.
economics is not about money. It's about
it's about
decision.
the study of people's choices.
Yeah, it's about decision making. So it's about, if you do this, why not do that, right? And
Yeah,
looking at the
opportunity
pros and
cost.
cons,
Yeah.
and that's it. You don't really talk about money. And
Mhm.
even if you do, you have to go really further on, and now you get to the finance part, like specifically on college or something, right? That's when you
Yeah,
really talk about some of the money.
yeah.
So if you want to learn economics, you should more have, kind of the mind of saying, I want to learn why people make those kind of
Yeah,
dumb
exactly. Not just because I
Mm.
want to get
Yeah.
rich. That's just
Yeah,
the
it's
wrong
more
mindset.
like, why would they make those choices? Why would companies not hire more
Mm.
than this much amount of employees? Like, what's their evidence out of it? And that's where
That's
economics comes in. If you want to know
it.
about money, you should actually buy a book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that
Yeah,
would do
yeah.
better
Dad,
than
Poor
economics.
Dad.
It.
No, 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 no. I keep recommending the book The Psychology of Money
Uh,
to anyone wondering about money, even if you're just a student or you have no clue like us
mm-mm.
about earning money actually. Read the book The Psychology of Money, because I think Johnny finished reading it as well. It gives you a very good view on money. It's not something that you can study and then become rich. It's really down to people's choices. And money is actually more psychology and history than it is about math or about just
Yeah.
making the right decision.
And if you go to the
There's so many variables.
Yeah, and if you go to the fundamentals of money, it's about the trust, right? Like, you believe this paper is $10, so we exchange,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah.
So this does not really have the value of $10. It's just all trust and belief.
Yeah.
So if you want to really know the concept of money, yeah, like, you should better look into psychology and all that instead of math.
Right, exactly. So I think the most profound thing with money is not how much you're earning, because as Steve said, his bar is $1 million, guys. That's pretty
Not
unrealistic
million.
for
I'm saying
million.
million is low.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. His bar is multiple millions of
Multi-million.
dollars. Yeah, yeah, high $1 million. But let's be real. 99.9% of the population won't reach that. Probably the three of us will never reach that. Let's just be realistic.
Quite pessimistic, man.
Um
I think we can.
but I think I think a big lesson I learned, or not lesson because I personally haven't gone through it, but big concept I learned through the psychology of money was just earn enough to where you don't have to worry, where you don't have to be insecure. Like for example, if if you buy insurance, for example, make sure it's good insurance so that you don't have to be scared that you'll be hit by a car and then not be able to pay your medical bills. You should always, be secure with your money. And that's what money should provide you: security and freedom, not exactly, a metric like I need to earn $10 million, or I need to be a millionaire. No, not really. You just need to earn enough to where you're comfortable and you're not scared that you're not going to be able to pay for, your daily expenses, your house. What if you get in an accident or you have kids and you want to send them off to college? Those are all stuff that you'd worry about if you don't have enough money. So let money solve that for you and then focus on other stuff in life.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I agree. But if somebody earns like 60K or 70K a year, he would be fine, right? But I won't call him rich, but he would be fine off of it, right? So like, bar of being fine and being rich is different. I'm not saying
Yeah.
you would be fine if you earn multi-millions, right? You'd be rich if you earn multi-millions.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
So is rich something, having more than you actually need?
Yeah, of course, of course. For me,
That
rich is
becomes
something.
rich.
Yeah,
Whoever.
for me, like, rich is having the
Mm.
wants, like a certain amount of wants that you know. It's like not only the
Interesting.
needs, right? You should.
Talking about the book that Gerard said, uh, if you would really if you want to read this book, but you don't have the time, I would just ask you to read the last chapter of it, because
The
it's
last
like a
chapter.
it's honestly the best chapter in my opinion from the book, because it's like a letter form to his the author to his son about money,
Mm.
like how to look at money and how to look at the world with money. And so in that chapter, he just talks about everything that the entire book was talking about. And yeah, it's just like one of the suggestions I would give you to read the last
Yeah,
chapter. And I read around 3 or 4 books about money, right? And
right.
the one main thing, at least one thing that they talk about and the same is to save money. That's it. It's just
Oh
save
yeah, but
all this.
honestly, I don't believe in saving money.
Really, because
Yeah, no,
Saving and then investing.
yeah,
yeah, all
investing
they
more
do
because like
is like save like 1/3, I mean like 30% or 50% of their money or of their
and you gotta
income.
invest that money, right? Which is not saving, it's
No, no,
investing.
no, you save it
Like
and then you invest the other part.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
Yeah,
don't
Because
know though.
because
Like
because because for example, as I said before, money should give you security. If you
yeah,
invest all your money and you have no savings,
mm,
because your investment's not guaranteed. You
yeah,
have no savings. What if, the next day you get in a car crash and you need to pay for
mm-mm.
your hospital bill? You don't have your savings for that. You
I
can't
mean,
withdraw
let's
anything,
say,
right? So
yeah,
save some money and then invest the part where you can, you can afford, and
yeah,
just,
I think, yeah,
yeah. Yes. I want to connect this to a bit of philosophy, because I think the saving money thing really connects to just everything else in life. Like if you have this view on money, it should um you should be able to make connections in life. What connection am I talking about? I'm talking about the concept of delayed gratification. It's the way you preserve your money is not by going out on a shopping spree every single week and buying everything in sight. It's delaying delaying the moment for the future, saving your money instead of spending it all in just a rush. And if you think about it, that goes with a lot of other things in life. Like for example, um, you want to lose weight, for example, that's also delayed gratification. You let's say in the present, you really want to go on a binging spree, like you really want
mm,
to eat, like a whole pizza. But but for your own health and for your own goals of losing weight, you delay your gratification and you just eat one pizza instead of the whole the whole box of pizzas. And by slowly doing that, you're going to reach your goals faster. So I think money in reality is a lot more psychology than it is anything. Like you can really connect it with a lot of other stuff in
yeah.
life.
I mean, for me, I don't really believe in those, kind of saving money because,
Right.
you know, my dad was really poor when he was young. I'm not saying he's rich now, but he's not poor at least now, you know, and he uses a lot of money from his income. Like, you know what I mean? Like he
Mhm.
uses a lot of money from his portion of income, but he works hard.
Yeah.
And I think he's suitable with that, which I'm saying, like, is it saving really needed? Or
I
oh, of
think,
course you should save, but let's say you get like 5K a month.
yeah,
Okay, you pay your rent and everything, you don't have a lot left. You have maybe $1,000 or $2,000 left, let's say. Then you divide that already. Again, you divide that once, and give some to the investment thing. And you have the leftover, right? And is it
Mhm.
saving that much meaningful? Like, I don't know. Like how Ding said about the car crash. Yeah, you would get into a car crash, but you wouldn't have money to fix the whole car crash. You would have some, but you wouldn't have many because your income is not that high, you know?
but
So I think that also works for people who is already getting a lot of income. For high income people, that works for them. But for people who can't, like, make even those monies, if you think about like the poor class of the Philippines, they don't have any leftovers after they buy their own food and all
Yeah,
that, right? Then how would you save and how would you, invest and all that?
but
I mean,
That's fair. That's
right?
fair.
Like, I
but
don't know. So that's why I don't believe in savings. And like another reason is because of the inflation. If you have $1,000 now, and if you have $1,000 2 years later, $1,000 2 years later is going to be like what,
Mhm.
$800 now, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
For that, uh, I mean, if that's the situation, like, there's no difference in spending and saving. Like, spending won't. The point here is that spending won't do any good in you. Like, at
Yeah.
least saving will do any some benefits, or most of the benefits, but
yeah.
spending
So
won't just do
I mean,
anything.
for
That's
me, I
why.
would just invest all if I have the savings. I
Mhm.
mean, okay, you should have a bit of money, but no, having a lot of savings, I don't think that makes a lot of
That's
difference.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Interesting.
At the end of the day, it's really what you want for money. Is it the security, or you just want to get rich fast? You just want
Mm,
to get rich fast, maybe invest all your money, but that's the unpredictability of life.
Yeah.
Sometimes you might
yeah.
lose it all. And to your point, Steve, you were talking about a poor person who lives paycheck to paycheck. how
Mm,
how can they possibly hope to save? And I agree with you. Like, if you observe poor people in the Philippines, they are living paycheck to paycheck. They don't know when they're going to buy their next pandesal, for example,
yep.
or they don't know if they can feed their family the next day. So if you give them the advice of, oh, you need to save
Hey,
your money
yeah,
meticulously, and you'll become rich.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
advice is just
They'll
dumb,
say, yeah, they'll say, stop bullshitting with me, man, like in
Mm,
front of your face. And you might get beat up for it, because in reality, like, that's not how these guys' situations are. And
Yeah.
mm,
you can't apply it to everything. In
yeah.
my opinion, these pieces of advice from, like, money books, like save, invest, become rich, these really apply to people with opportunity, middle class people, who aren't living paycheck to paycheck, who can afford to save some money and
Mm,
invest that money.
yeah.
That's really the target demographic for this, not the poor people living on the streets, the sidecar drivers,
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
the beggars. These people, really, it's really hard to climb out of that. So
Mm.
Mm.
a simple book's not gonna solve that issue for them.
They won't have money to buy books in the first place, anyways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, like
Yeah.
it's like the rich poor gap is a real big problem. I think it kind
Yeah,
of,
it
it
is.
gets better over time, a bit, maybe, because Korea also had a big rich poor gap in like 1960s, 70s. And as the situation got better, like rich poor gap got better. But once it gets, more advanced, I think it comes back, right? Like the United States. They have like one of the
Mhm.
Yeah.
biggest rich poor gaps, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I believe in economics, you will study on like why it becomes like that, why
Yeah,
Oh,
for
rich
sure.
poor
inflation
gap.
happens.
Yeah,
And that's why,
because
yeah, it's an interesting topic for
I
me.
mean,
right.
in economics, there is, microeconomics and macroeconomics, right?
Mhm.
Most of the part that you'll feel interesting is kind of maybe macro, because that's what you
Right,
see on news,
macroeconomics.
right? That's what you see in
Those
Yeah.
are
articles.
like the personal.
Yeah, yeah. But if micro's fun, it talks about like marginal propensity to save and consume, like what we're talking about,
All right,
like
all
how
right,
much percent
all
you
right,
save from your income and how
all
much you
right,
spend,
all right.
and like how it works, right? Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
All right.
mean,
I'll pretend I understand all of that. No, 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 no. But I think at the end of the day, if countries want to solve this issue of the margin between rich and poor, it's not eliminating capitalism. Because if you eliminate capitalism, first off, that's not natural, because
Mhm.
You're putting a cap on people.
Mhm.
Second off, eliminating capitalism would go to socialism, and then at that point you'd have no advancements anymore.
Mhm.
I think the solution to this is you keep capitalism, so rich
Mhm.
people get richer, poor people, they're poor,
Yeah.
but you mix in a little bit of socialism in this capitalist society, meaning that you allocate some resources to people's opportunity, to education, and because you're doing this, more poor people without any opportunities will have that opportunity, and they'll be able to rise up and become middle class or rich themselves. So I think the solution to solving this is by allocating a lot of your resources into people's opportunities. Then it'll start to balance out, sort of. But the solution's not to eliminate
Yeah.
capitalism.
I mean,
Um.
capitalism really normally goes with meritocracy, right? Like how
Meritocracy. Yeah.
meritocracy, yeah, like how people get judged by their abilities and all that. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
Do you think mer- how how was it?
Meritocracy is fair.
Meritocracy, yeah.
Yeah.
You think meritocracy is a fair judgment to people?
What is it? No, I don't
I
know
don't
about
know, like
meritocracy.
Oh,
they
okay.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
it's
So
it's
meritocracy
basically being judged on your
ability.
abilities. Yeah. Like instead of everyone being equal, like for example in socialism, instead of everyone being equal and everyone getting paid the same, some people are going to be paid more because they're smarter, or
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
they have a better profession.
I read a book about
Yeah,
it.
I agree on that.
Talks about the problems of merit. What was it?
Meritocracy.
Meritocracy. Okay. I'm forgetting the accent. Whatever. But there is a problem. It talks about the problem, and if you think about things get inherent over time, they only think about financial stuff, right? Like money. But
Mhm.
the book talks about how those abilities are also kind of inherent. Those pass
So you're
over
just
time.
lucky.
Like
So you're
no,
just
no, no.
lucky.
It's not something lucky. It's something
Because he
like
said
this.
inherent.
If your dad is rich,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You see the rich abilities from your young age,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You see what the riches do. Then
Yeah.
those abilities pass down, to the next generation, to the next, to the next,
Yeah.
and which makes a big wall between the rich and the
And poor.
poorest,
Yeah.
which
That's
it's
fair.
talking about how meritocracy, was it right?
Meritocracies.
Meritocracy. What? Okay, meritocracy. It talks about how meritocracy could not be fair. Maybe
I
Mm.
mean,
it might not be fair. No,
That's
that's why.
that's not even just meritocracy. That's more just the Pareto distribution, as I told you. The rich get richer, the poor
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah.
poorer.
And is that fair? Like being
I
judged
mean,
by abilities. Like if you have inherent abilities because of the money and financial stuff,
I mean,
being judged by ability fair, like something
it's
like, let's say, college. A lot of rich and white people go to Harvard, right? You can't deny
Yeah.
that because there is statistics. Then why? Because
They have
and
that opportunity.
they
yeah,
pay
and
for
because
they pay the Harvard. They
I
pay
mean
the
maybe,
college.
but
Yeah,
but
they do.
but normally
They give
that
some
goes
money.
because college looks for ability, and normally the rich ones are the ones who can advance those abilities and find
Yeah.
those, right? So is it really fair?
This
And
is
and so the
yeah.
book talks about that and doesn't give a solution.
Yeah, because if they
Yeah,
knew the
yeah,
solution,
yeah.
like
I mean,
the
because
world would have like peace, and we wouldn't have the gap in
Yeah,
poor, and
exactly.
yeah, I
we
mean,
don't
it
have the
talks about those.
solutions.
I mean, it's talking about it because it's getting
Yeah,
steeper. It's getting steeper, right?
yeah,
Right.
and
Like
then if we knew the solutions, we would be in peace, but we just don't
like
know.
let's say like
Yeah.
20 years later, if you have like no chance of being rich and successful, if your mom and dad is poor, is that fair?
I
even
don't know. It's not fair, but
No.
you know, you
it's
just can't
it's
do
it's
it.
not fair, that's
John,
that's
yeah,
the thing. So I think the only solution I can think of is really giving people this opportunity to rise up. Like if you compare poor people in the Philippines compared to poor people in America, at least poor people in America have a chance to become rich. Maybe that chance is 5%, who knows.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
here
yeah.
in the Philippines, if you're a sidecar driver or you sell mangoes for your living, like your chances of becoming rich are 0.0000001%. Like
I
that's
mean,
not even an
yeah,
exaggeration. So you're never gonna get this egalitarian society where everyone is equal. That's just not feasible, and no one wants that in the first place, because that means that meritocracy is not a thing.
Yep,
That
yep.
means that if you're good, you're not based on your ability because everyone's equal. No, the the society this builds is a society that's competitive and a society with more opportunity. It's not going to
yeah,
be everyone has opportunity, but
because
at least more people have opportunity.
yeah, this
Um,
problem is kind of emerging because
yeah.
Yeah.
meritocracy, and the fundamental of meritocracy, they're talking about fairness of chances, right? We'll give you the fair chances. We'll give you the same chances, but we will, it could be unfair in the results because of your ability, right? That's the fundamental of, this meritocracy. But
Well,
Meritocracy.
meritocracy, what?
meritocracy. And
And
yeah,
is it the chances really being fair?
I don't know.
Like,
Wait.
right? So like the whole fundamental is kind of shaking
Um,
if you talk in that kind of way.
I mean, like even Gerard's point, it's not a. I don't think it could be a solution because
Yeah, it's not a perfect one.
yeah, because if you focus on the poor, you will affect the rich, and the rich will not be satisfied with what you do on the poor, and then
Mhm.
it's gonna
Yeah.
do, it's gonna be really complicated. That's why
Mm,
it's hard to get a solution, and we should not try to get the solution here. And let's
Mhm.
go back to the, you know, the final thoughts on money. And
no, wait. I
why,
have things to talk about. Wait,
you
wait.
why trying to
Look,
get
look.
the solution here? it's,
No,
it's
not the
it's
Yeah.
quite
solution.
impossible
You
to
really
get
think
this.
three
No, no,
teenage
no.
kids can
No,
can
I'm
come up with a solution to end world
Yeah.
hunger?
yeah. I'm not talking about solution, but I'm talking about like my stance about this thing. You know, if you think about this all money thing, right? How the
Right.
capitalism is making the riches richer and the
Yeah.
poor's poor, you know. Um, when I'm the rich, I really love the system, right? Like
Yeah.
you won't get poor, right? Based on
Right.
the system,
Right.
which I love. And almost all of the decision making happening in a company, like in politics, it's made by the richest, right? Like,
Mm.
because a lot of riches are politicians. So I don't think this would ever change. Like, why would you do something that harms you,
That's fair.
right?
That's
Like,
We just aren't, like God, like Jesus, who are very,
yeah, we're not
loving your
almighty, but
neighbors.
humans are selfish
Yeah,
creatures.
we're
That's
quite
so
that's the
yeah,
selfish.
yeah,
truth of it.
right. So I don't think I would change. I would
It would just go
take.
like this.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no,
It's
no, God.
it's oh okay. Here's my final thoughts on it. Like it's just a question to you guys.
huh.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people are really empathetic towards people without opportunity, and that's a wonderful sentiment, really. Like I think so many people, like, creating foundations and donating to poor people and giving them opportunities, that's a wonderful thing. And if I was a poor person, I'd be so grateful. But the problem is rich people, and let's consider ourselves rich because we're by no means not privileged. Um, we we would not give up our position to the poor people. Like something that benefits the poor people but harms us, or let's say not us, you know other rich people. Let's say something that benefits the poor people but harms them, do you really think majority of humans would would undergo that process? Or here's an even more extreme example. If you really care about the poor that much, like, then give up all your riches and donate them to 100 poor families, and you
Yeah, yeah,
yourself become poor. Would you take that sacrifice?
I mean,
As a
yeah,
selfish human being,
yeah.
I
would
mean,
you take that sacrifice?
your question has the answer, right? You
What?
talked about how they give money because of sympathy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's not I love them. It's a sympathy.
yeah,
right.
There's a
yeah,
stance of saying I am richer than you and I am higher than you in this
yeah,
capitalism
yeah,
system. So, I would give some part of you, right? Which is
Yeah.
already not, the question doesn't, apply into this thing,
That's
right? It's a
and
sympathy.
that's
So,
already very good that there are these donation platforms out there now.
yeah.
I think what would even be better is if we focus more on that. But the reality of the matter is, you know,
we just don't.
even if we increase these
Mm.
donation platforms or these opportunity centers, there are always going to be poor people. That's just the reality of the world.
Yeah.
Unless all the rich people
Or
give
not.
up their money and
Yeah.
donate them to everyone in the world, which is not feasible. No one's
Yeah.
going to do that.
I mean,
Maybe one person out of 100,000, but
Bill
really,
Gates
come on.
donated a lot of his money.
Yeah, because
But
he's
Did
too
he
rich.
donate all of his money?
But that's
Right.
where the sympathy comes from, right?
Yeah.
He's not
It's-
giving all of the money. He's giving some
It's-
part of it.
It's sympathy. It's not giving up your entire
Yeah.
stash of wealth to everyone. No
Yeah, I'm
no
feeling-
one I know did that.
Yeah, right. Like that's just me feeling bad for him because he's just too poor, right? I mean, which is
It's dude.
Like-
It's a really tough problem to solve, and it's not our problem to solve, to be honest. But
yeah,
I think just be open-minded with this and realize that it's life's not fair, man.
yeah, it's not fair if you don't have money.
Interesting. Life is not fair. Yeah, but
Yeah, but really,
because
really,
in the last chapter of the money psychology of money, it says actually this is something different. It says everything has like a cost. So if you work hard, sometimes I don't know if it's talking about that, but no, it's talking about how everything has a cost. That if you spend or save your money, like what you do with your money has a cost basically. So it'll what do you call that? It'll result you in if you're becoming richer or poorer. That's why your decisions really matter. And why did I relate this to life's not fair? I don't know. Because
What?
I just thought
what a
I misread the thing. I thought
Oh, okay, that's
everything
fine.
has a cost, like I misread that thing. But yeah.
No, but look, like in that saying, life's not fair.
Yeah.
If you make the right decisions, you're gonna become rich. But because you made those decisions, other people are gonna make the wrong decisions as well, and
Yeah.
they're gonna suffer for it. And in that case, life's not fair also applies there.
Yeah.
Like,
Or they even
people-
right and wrong decisions if
Yeah.
life is not fair. Like
that's another broader
yeah.
philosophical
Yeah,
topic
and if you
that
see like the system in American college, like in the
Yeah.
United States, it just says unfairness. Like, all those like if your mom's from Stanford, you can get accepted to Stanford way easily. If your dad's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
UPenn, you could get accepted in UPenn easily. That's just,
Unfair.
one way of unfairness, right? That's not your ability. That's your dad's or mom's, like parents, like your family's ability, more like.
yeah.
But I believe I think there's like I don't know the reason, but there might be a reason why they keep doing that. If they thought it
I mean,
was really
I
unfair,
think
but
they want to make kind of, a legacy,
yeah.
like
All
let's
right.
say there's
All
like
right, all
a
right.
no. Look. Let's say there's like
Last
a
point. Last point.
Okay,
Because we
last
have to
point.
wrap
Like,
it up.
okay, so let's say there's like a family of like Samsung, right? Like there's like the one who found the company, and like the sons, they have them next. What if they are all from Harvard? Then Harvard would feel very nice about it, right? Oh, they're all from Harvard. Like their legacy is
Yeah.
our
So
legacy,
so let's accept his son.
right? Yeah, right.
Uh,
So I think that's what college and universities think about those
Uh,
things.
maybe.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
unfair in a sense. But who are you to argue? That
Yeah.
they should change the whole system.
Yeah.
So, what's the conclusion of this entire
What's the
talk?
conclusion?
What's the
Money,
conclusion? Yeah.
right?
Life's not fair.
Okay, yeah. Nice
Before you
conclusion.
once Jordan
Like,
Peterson said, before you criticize the world, clean your room
Criticize
first.
yourself. Yep.
You gotta
Okay,
clean
life's
your
not
room
fair.
first, okay?
Clean your room first.
Yeah, clean your room and think about yourself and think about your money
Yeah.
before you think about the entire world's money.
Yeah,
Mm,
exactly. So really just focus on yourself and
Yeah.
your own money first before solving these broad societal problems. And
Yeah.
honestly, this was probably the longest
Yeah, it is the
episode we've done
longest.
so
it's
far.
like hour
but
long, right? It's
yeah, probably more than an hour.
more than an
but
hour.
Yeah.
in the future, if these types of episodes
Yeah.
turn out well and we have more of these broad broad discussions, I think I'd enjoy it. And if you guys enjoy these episode schemes, then please continue watching our
Yeah.
future episodes.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. We recommend you the book of the psychology of money and Rich Dad
Psychology of
Poor
Money.
Dad too. All right. Yeah, that's it for today.
All right. Steve, say bye. Also, guys, it's Steve's
Bye.
birthday. Just
Happy
yeah.
birthday.
Yeah, just
yeah, happy
realized,
birthday, Steve.
Happy birthday. Steve.
Yeah.
Yep, July 26th. Remember that,
Thank
guys?
you. Thank you.
July 26th.
All
All right.
right.
Thank you guys for watching this. Like, if anyone made it to this part of the video, I don't know what you're doing with your life.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if anybody just watched the whole thing, like, oh my god.
Yeah, just please
Very
DM
thankful,
us,
Very thankful.
Yeah, please DM us. We
And then we'll do
really want to
something
know
for
who
you.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
guys. Thank you guys.
I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye bye.
See you in the next episode.